Walmart Wine and Spirits, located on Kennedy Boulevard. Walmart is known for its wide selection of liquor, beer, low prices, and convenient location. How long have you worked in this neighborhood?
3 years now.
Why did you choose to live here?
Basically, I was unemployed and looking for work after 3 years.
How does this alcohol store compare to others in Hillsborough County?
We're one of the larger ones, and we get a wide array of clientele here. We get everything from a lower class neighborhood behind us to University of Tampa students, to Hyde Park Soho residents, to people visiting, staying downtown at local hotels, people who live on Davis Island, Harbor Island, so we get quite a varied clientele.
What do you think can be done to make this neighborhood safer?
I would really encourage the neighborhood to get more involved with like neighborhood watch programs, things like that, because it's really a shame that a small percentage in the neighborhood might reflect some sort of trouble in this area. So I think basically a lot of people are trying to do what they can. I'd like to see more police presence personally, things like that, but Tampa PD has been incredibly helpful to us here.
Have you guys ever experienced any crime or anything happening inside before?
The typical type of shrink that you would experience from time to time of someone coming in and taking something without pay, but a lot of times that's deterred, having more than one person here. So.
What do you like about this neighborhood?
I like the variety and diversity of people here. I particularly enjoy the diversity of students from UT, from all over the country. I was an educator for 25 years, history and culture, so I really enjoy talking to people from different places, especially in the United States.
And what would you say the most frequently purchased bottle is?
I would say the most popular actually are two things. One is Bacardi and Bacardi products, and the other is Smirnoff and Smirnoff products. Very popular, especially the flavored ones, more so among the younger crowds. You're going to find that in this particular neighborhood market here and in this liquor store, we have such a variety of people from different socioeconomic backgrounds and racial and ethnic groups as well. We have customers who are African American, who are Caucasian, who are Latino, and various mixtures thereof. We have people here who are immigrants, who are applying for visa from other countries. We have people from all sorts of just walks of life and backgrounds, races, ethnic groups, you name it. We've even had groups of Native Americans who have come here from the Seminole tribe and others who have visited. So you name it, we
Have you always shopped here in this store?
Yeah, because it's close. Sometimes I've been to ABC or Total Wine if I'm getting a tag or something.
Do you feel safe when you come shopping here?
Yeah, it depends what time of day, that's for sure. But pretty safe generally.
And what liquor do you lean towards buying most?
Yeah, I guess Jack Daniels or beer.
Jack Daniels beer, what kind of beer?
Heineken.
What do you think the racial makeup is of this And do you think most people in this neighborhood have access to good health care?
Probably not. Knowing Obamacare, probably not.
what would you consider the general social class neighborhood around here?
Gays, gay people back here. Project down there.
Do you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous.
Not really.
So you think the neighborhood's primarily safe? Why do you say that? Have you?
Because I don't walk these streets at night. Many a nights leaving the station bar drunk. That never happened to me.
Never heard of any crime or anything?
Oh yes, crime, right? It's crime everywhere. It's all kind of crime. Prostitution.
What do you think could be done to make that neighborhood safer?
Nothing you can do to make it safer. People just got to be tired of doing crime. They get tired of it. They stop.
Do you primarily come to this liquor store?
I'm going to be a lifetime member. 1 second. Keep asking questions.
What liquor do you normally buy?
Oh, that's a good one. What liquor do I normally buy? All. Granddad, Ciroc, Hennessy. I'm an alcoholic. So we're going to trade and I'm alcoholic. Yeah, I bet not.
Hyde Park is primarily made up of upper and middle class families.
Sweet Bay Market Liquors is located in Hyde Park off of Swan Avenue.
Sweet Bay is known for its organized selection of wine, beer, and liquor.
How long have you worked here?
I've worked here for about 4 years.
How would you describe this neighborhood?
Rich. Yes.
How would you like to describe the customers that come in here?
Regular. We have a lot of regular customers. We also get a lot of people who see the deals and the flyers and so on and so forth and come in. They're kind of new to the area. We get an influx of people, visitors from up north.
What kind of social class would you say that the majority of the customers are?
Lots of middle class for the most part.
What do you think the most frequently purchased alcohol here is?
Vodka, by and large. We sell vodka.
And what, like Svedka or?
Svedka is probably the number 2. I'd say Smirnoff is the probably most popular one that we have. We sell a lot of Absolute also.
What would you say the racial makeup is of the neighborhood?
Really, it's probably like, I'd say it's probably like 60% white, 30% black, and 10% other.
And have you guys ever experienced any crime, either in the store
Absolutely.
or outside?
I actually caught a guy about 2 weeks ago. He came in, I had never seen him before. He walked down, asked me a couple questions, walked down the aisle, and I was watching him and caught him around the corner. He's stuffing a big bottle of Absolute down his pants.
But other than that, do you feel safe working here?
For the most part, yeah. I haven't had any knives or guns pulled out on me yet.
And let's see what else would I ask? Do you think most people in this neighborhood have access to good health care?
That's a great question. I think if they pursue it themselves, I think they can find health care wherever it is. It's not too hard. I have my own style of health care, my own type, so I can find it. Ask them.
As far as
How's it going?
Okay.
Doing well.
do you live in this area?
Yes.
Okay. Do you normally shop here?
No.
No. Where else do you shop?
Publix.
Publix. What kind of alcohol do you mostly buy? The brand.
I mean, like,
Would you drink beer or?
yeah, I'd say beer or whiskey or bourbon.
Okay, if you're drinking whiskey, what kind?
Jack Daniels, George Dickel, that's what I have now. It's Maker's Mark, it's a bourbon whiskey, it's pretty good.
Do you feel safe in this area?
Alright, thanks a lot.
And And the people who live in this neighborhood, what would you say their social class is?
Middle to high middle.
And do you think people in this neighborhood have strong political or religious views?
Some. Yeah.
Nebraska Avenue is located north of the city. It's primarily made up of lower-class families.
OK Liquors and Spirits full package store, also located on Nebraska Avenue.
It's unique because all its liquor is located behind a counter. There is also a drive-through window. How long have you worked in this neighborhood?
I've worked here a year and a half.
Year and a half? Why did you choose to work here?
Close to home.
Close to home. What would you consider the general social class of the customers that come and shop here? Lower, higher? What's like the majority of people that come in? What are they like?
Mostly lower class.
Lower class. How do you think this liquor store compares to other liquor stores in Hillsborough County?
This one is smaller, and our liquor is behind the counter, where most liquor stores, everything is out, and the stores are huge.
Let's see. Do you know many of your customers?
I've learned them, yes, from working here. Yeah.
Do you think this neighborhood is safe?
I would say so.
Safe? Has you witnessed any crime?
No.
No crime. Let's see. What are the schools like in this neighborhood?
I would say they're all right. I mean, they get good grades, believe it or not.
What's the racial makeup of this neighborhood? Do you think it has any bearing on the social class of the neighborhood?
That depends, I guess, on how you view it. You know, I mean, it's mostly a black neighborhood.
Do you think the neighborhood leans politically anyway? Like, is there a main view politically in this neighborhood?
I don't believe so.
No. What about religious?
I think there's a lot of Baptist, Christian.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think the major problems are in this neighborhood?
I mean, I've lived here 7 years, and I haven't, really seen a lot of... I guess maybe if there was anything, it would be the drugs.
Drugs? Okay. Is there anywhere in Hillsborough County you would rather live, or do you like living here?
I like living here.
Okay.
Get used to it.
And one more. What here is the most frequently purchased alcohol? Is there anything that stands out in your mind?
Well, geez, let's see. What sells the most here is Hennessy, Ciroc, exclusive now is the big thing.
Okay.
So it was kind of like a variety.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Do you live around this area?
Mm-hmm.
Do you normally shop here?
Yes.
And what would you say, what kind of alcohol do you buy?
Ciroc, Alizé, Nouveau. Last weekend I got Captain and just vodka, Monday through Friday.
And what kind of people do you see here?
Black people.
Okay. And do you feel safe in this area?
No.
No? Could you elaborate a little bit?
Well, there's a lot of niggas rushing the car and shit sometimes. Asking for a bunch of stuff. I don't know, it's just a lot of chaos. I don't know where to look. It's too much going on sometimes, yeah.
And people who live in this neighborhood, what would you say their social class is?
Social class. I would say they hang out too much outside. That's what they mean? Social? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And do you think the people in this neighborhood have strong political or religious views?
They may not look like it, but I think so, yeah.
Let's see if I'm missing any. What are schools like in this neighborhood?
Schools? I don't know. I don't think they...
Did you go to school here in this?
No.
No.
I went to school in Jersey.
For Jersey.
And what do you do for a living?
What am I? I'm a medical assistant.
In public health.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Anything else? McDitton's, located on South Howard, is a popular middle-class bar.
Okay, how long have you lived around this neighborhood?
4 years.
Okay. Yeah, what do you do for a living?
I work at a law firm as a legal assistant.
Okay. What would you consider the general social class in this neighborhood to be?
Upper middle class.
Okay. Do you think this neighborhood is safe?
Yes.
Is there any crime that you know of?
Yes.
What kind?
Burglary, robbery.
Okay. What is the average level of education in this neighborhood?
I'd probably say about around college degree.
Okay. Do you think education is important?
Yes.
What's the racial makeup of this neighborhood?
I guess more so Caucasian.
Do you come here a lot?
Yes.
What's your normal drink of choice, I guess you could say?
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke. Do you think this neighborhood, did I already ask? I think, yeah. How long have you lived in this neighborhood?
I lived in Hyde Park for only about the last few years, but I've been living in South Tampa for about 16 years.
Why do you choose to live here?
Because it is the one spot in Tampa that you can live and then walk to places. It's the one urban spot in Tampa.
Okay. So, on that note, do you think it's safe?
Well, there's a lot of wealthy people here who pay a lot of taxes, so the cops tend to spend a bit more time here than they do in, let's say, East Tampa. So, relatively speaking, yes, I think South Tampa is pretty safe.
Okay. What would you consider the general social class?
Social class. There's children of wealthy, upper middle class people here. What that makes them, I'm not sure. I guess that makes them upper middle class. But it's a lot of young people who, a lot of them do not have their own income. They're living off of mom and dad. So, but obviously, Hyde Park is the upper middle class to be sure.
So, what do you think their average level of education is?
Well, again, are you talking the immediate area or just Hyde Park in general?
In general.
Well, they're all college educated, if not postgraduate degrees.
How about racial makeup? What do you think is the majority?
I'd go with in the area 90. Just north of Kennedy, you've got quite a bit. It's a marked difference. South of Kennedy, you're talking like 95% white. North of Kennedy.
So do you think it makes a difference, like where you are, for racial makeup?
Does it make a difference where you live?
Yeah, no, not make a difference. Like, do you think if you go here, it's more white people than
if you walk half a mile north, it's entirely different. Yes. But I like your responses to my answers like you cared.
I do care.
There you go. Sorry, go ahead.
So what do you think this neighborhood politically leans to?
Politically, again, you've got children of wealthier people, so they tend to vote like mom and dad do, so they're Republican. However, Hillsborough just voted blue. Right? So now Tampa proper, mostly Republican, more Republican than not, but people like myself, young professionals, I voted Obama. So that's a very difficult question to answer. Yeah.
Do you think this neighborhood is particularly religious?
No. There's a church in the middle of Hyde Park, and again, I think if you go southeast of here, and you go into the middle of Hyde Park, yes, I think it's pretty religious. But again, you've got a lot of young people living around here, that I don't think particularly care about religion. If they might consider themselves, they might align with a certain religion, but I don't necessarily consider a religious neighborhood. No.
Actually practicing.
Right.
So how long have you worked in this neighborhood?
Like 3 months.
Where else have you worked?
I actually used to bartend at a strip club on Avenue in Brandon.
So why did you choose to work here?
Because it's where everybody goes. It's fun. Bars everywhere. All my friends come here, clearly.
What would you consider the general social class?
It's a mix of everybody. Mostly it's college kids, like young 20, like middle class. But we get a range of all sorts of people here.
So do you think this neighborhood is safe?
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have any crime in this neighborhood?
Not so much. Surprisingly, there's no fights here ever. I've seen 2 since I've worked here, which is surprising to all the people and how drunk everyone gets.
What do you think is the average level of education in this neighborhood?
Most people are actually, I've seen that everyone has a college degree. Not everybody. Most people have a college degree. There's a lot of business people in here, and lawyers and stuff like that, so everyone has to be educated in these degree.
How about the racial makeup?
It's called mixed deal. It just attracts so many different people, so it's, yeah.
There's no primary.
I mean, it's mostly, yeah, no, actually it's just about even.
What other businesses do you know of in this neighborhood?
It's about everywhere. I mean, across the street it's they're owned by the same people. Jeep, Iraq, Lodge, everywhere.
How about religious background?
I have no idea. 0 idea. Keep religious talk out of the bar.
The Windjammer is a bar located on Oregon Avenue in a low-class neighborhood.
What do you do for a living?
Construction.
Do you live in this neighborhood?
Yeah, I live down the street.
How long have you lived here?
About a year ago, I moved in with my boy Marcus.
What do you believe the social class of this neighborhood is?
What do you mean, poor?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, people that live around here don't have money.
What do you think the racial makeup is?
Black people.
Do you feel safe, or is there a lot of crime?
There's a lot of crime, gangs, fights, robbery. I feel kind of safe, not really.
Is this the main bar you go to?
Yeah, all the time. It's close to my house.
And what kind of people do you see here?
Mostly people from my neighborhood hang here.
How do you feel about health care?
I don't have any.
Do you consider yourself religious or political?
I believe in God, but I'm not into politics.